Welcome back to Business Breakfast in Bedhead. I actually do these live calls on Instagram. I would love for you to come and hang out with me at them. So if you don't already follow me at Dawn Bradley, DAWNBRADLEY, should have made a song about that. Go follow me there because then you can take part in these live calls and can actually chat with me. But if you can't make them, no sweat. Now they're going to be here. So welcome to Business Breakfast in Bedhead. Buckle up, friend, and let's dive in. I overthink, I overshare, and I overanalyze. So come explore with me as I chat about business, life, and relationships, all through the lens of an anxious creative. Morning and welcome to Business Breakfast in Bedhead. I'm so excited to be going live with you, and I'm going to share with you a simple way to have tough conversations, whether it's with a client, whether it's with your boss, a coworker, maybe it's someone in your life. But I'm so excited to go live here with you guys because we had one yesterday and it was so good. So let's get into it today. First of all, before I even share anything with you, I want to remind you guys that I create a safe space and a judgment-free zone where we can learn and grow together, showing up real, raw, honest, and vulnerable. And so if you're willing to commit to this being a safe space and a judgment-free zone together today, just put a 1 in the chat because it's really important for me. I share from the heart, I share very vulnerably, and I make a lot of connections between life and business, and I want to make sure that we're all going to be safe people here together. So go ahead and put a 1 in the chat if you're willing to create a safe space and a judgment-free zone here today, because I'm so excited to talk about how to have tough conversations. Now, this is going to work in your work, in your business, with your clients, with your friends, with your family, and it's super simple. It's called, and I love all the ones, awesome. And as we do this, I want to cultivate some community here. So go ahead and put where you are in the world, where you're tuning in from. 111, Jenny, I love it. Because I want you guys to get to know each other. We're meant to do life in community with other people. And the more you engage in this conversation today, the more you bring me energy and I can bring more to you, but also you get to know each other. So we've got Oregon in the house. Oh, another Oregon. Look at that. I love it. Ontario. Is that Ontario, Canada or Ontario, California? Portland, Oregon. Lots of Oregon people in here. I love this. So good. And you guys, I cut my hair and I don't think I like it so short. It feels really short. This happens a lot. And if you didn't know already, I post these on my podcast, the Anxious Creative Podcast. So if ever you're needing to, I cut it and I didn't cut it well. If you're ever needing to listen to this again or re-listen or gain other knowledge, go ahead and subscribe to the Anxious Creative wherever you can listen to podcasts. And if you're listening to this on the podcast right now, come on over to IG at Dawn Bradley and let's hang out. Okay, let's get into it. How to have the simple way to have tough conversations. And it's called my EASE method. Now, let's see if I can make this really easy for you guys. Is we're gonna do it this way. I even have a piece of paper, and a pen here for you. Is it backwards for you or is it the right way around? Let me know. Is it backwards? I don't think I can write backwards otherwise. But let's talk about the EASE method to having tough conversations. Can someone just say yes or no if it's backwards for you? Can you see it the right way? Because I want to make things really simple. And I'm trying to see if I have a marker. Backwards. Damn. Okay, let's see if I can do it the other way around. The S is going to be hard. There. Oh, that works, right? EASE. Now, I don't know if I can write the whole words out backwards, so we're just going to stick here. And so if you want to have, and I would love to use someone as an example if someone wants to go live with me about a particular situation in their business. Oh, thank you, Cass. That we can work through this. But if you're taking notes this morning, EASE, you want to start the conversation with empathy. I understand. Those 2 words will be magic for you. Saying, I understand. I understand this is probably frustrating for you. I understand that you're really upset right now. It seems like, so I understand, or it seems like this has really hurt your feelings, or it seems like this has really annoyed you. I understand you're likely not happy right now. Empathy, starting it off. Then the A is apologize. Take this is a really hard one and can ruffle some feathers. Apologize for the responsibility and the role that you played. I apologize that I wasn't clear enough. I apologize that I didn't communicate this well enough. I apologize that I assumed.
I apologize takes their guard down. And so one, you've empathized and you've made them realize that you're willing to see things from their perspective. Not just, and I read recently, which kind of blew my mind, was don't just say you're going to walk in someone's shoes, because that's your perspective going into their situation. Try to be in their situation with their worldview, with their past, with their experience, with what they've gone through, and try to see from their perspective. So empathy. Fuck yeah, you guys. I love that you're writing these down in the comments, because I can't write these words backwards. Empathy, apologize, be straightforward. Straightforward is the S. Empathy, apologize, be straightforward. A lot of us like to use the word, I just was wondering, or it's just that. Take the words just, I think, and I feel out of your vocabulary. Now, I was speaking at an event, I was in Vegas last week, but it was an event earlier this year, and I was sharing this, and then I was giving an example, and they're like, you just said I think. It's ingrained into us. We often use the word just, and I think and I feel as a way to soften something, because we're not used to being as straightforward. Now, there may be some of you guys that don't struggle with this at all. You're not as so much a people pleaser and you have no problem being straightforward. Those of you guys that are people pleasers, we tend to soften things. And what happens is when you use just, I feel, or I think, you actually invite rebuttal. So I think that you're probably not the right client. I think that I can't make you happy. Like if you're talking to a client and then they can go, no, I love seeing you. And then you're like, well, shit, right? I feel like you're not really ever happy with your service from me. No, I love it. And then you're like, but I still feel this way. So I feel and I think can leave room for them to negotiate their perspective. Where if you're straightforward, you can go, I don't believe that I'm the right person for you to continue on your service. Or this isn't working for me any longer. Or this is something like being very straightforward, which for a people pleaser, for someone who isn't direct a lot, it can feel really abrasive and aggressive, but there's a difference between abrasive, aggressive, and just being factual and straightforward. And so it's going to feel uncomfortable, but being straightforward is really important. And then the last one is being earnest, which is another word for being sincere. You need to be sincere when you do these. You can't be like non-sincere empathy is complete passive-aggressive bullshit. You need to be sincere. So you need to find a way to communicate the empathy, the apology, being straightforward with sincerity. Now, when you do this, you will see your business, your relationship with your clients, your relationship with your family, your relationship with your friends, your romantic relationships change drastically. And all of a sudden you'll be taking out this thing. I was just reading the book this morning, just started reading the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it talks about how when you criticize someone, they automatically go on defensiveness. And this is something that I teach my students in Rock Your Business, where we talk about when you show up on the defense, you elicit an offensive response. And a lot of the times when we're going into tough conversations with clients, someone's late canceled, for example, and we're like, just so you know, we maybe start on the offense. You late canceled and it put me out. And we're starting off because we're nervous of a negative reaction, but you actually create the negative reaction by coming at it offensively. If you think of a soccer game, if you start on the offense, the other team has no choice but to be defensive. Or if you start on the defense, the other person has no other choice to be offensive. And so you actually, by your anxiety, by your fear, and you kind of blurting things out, not knowing how to go through with empathy, apology, straightforward, and earnestness, without doing that, you actually create the response you're scared of getting. And so when you can slow down, calm down your nervous system, take a deep breath, and take control over the situation, which oftentimes you are control freaks, because I'm a people pleaser and also a control freak, and I people pleased as a way to control other people's responses. If I could people please, then I could control their response to me, which wouldn't elicit an unpredictable response. So people pleasing wasn't about pleasing the other person. It was about creating a predictable response in them. Because so many times when I would people please, I would promise things I couldn't follow through with. I would promise things that didn't put my best intentions in mind. I would stay late, come in early, squeeze people in, and then I'd feel frustrated with myself, but I would never reflect on the fact that I was frustrated with myself. I would just project it onto my clients. I can't believe they asked this for me. I can't believe they did this again. I can't believe this. When in reality, I was allowing it because I was scared that if I said no, I was scared that if, hi Holly, I was scared that if I said, that I can't do it that way, but we can do it this way, that they would get upset at me. Now, I'm someone who has abusive relationships in my past. I'm someone who was brought up in a religious atmosphere where you don't question authority, and you say yes, and you respect authority. And so other adults, other people, I've always felt I've struggled with a lot of inferiority complex, imposter syndrome, and not believing that my voice was allowed to be heard. So I have a history. I can't wait to see you at Hero as well, Holly. I have a history of playing small to make other people comfortable. I have a history of when I tried to stand up for myself, I was told not to question, not to debate, and the easiest thing is just to concede. I remember hearing like, Dawn, just be the bigger person. And so I took from that, my perception of that was to play small, not question, not push back. And so learning to say no, even if it's like even if it's like a client wants to get squeezed in and I know that I can't give the quality of work that I would give in that time, I would still say yes, because I thought the only answer to a question was yes. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys are relating to this and tracking, because I know I can go off on some tangents. And so even though I sometimes needed to say no for the best for looking out for my client, like they want a full head of highlights. I'm going to use this as an example. And I had an hour and a half and they're like, please, can you get me in? And I'd be like, okay. And I'd try to do a full head of highlights in an hour and a half, which I couldn't do well. And I realized that I ended up having to fix their hair. And then I'd be frustrated because I'm like, I already squeezed them in. And now I'm having to fix it. Can't they just be happy with what I got done? When in reality, I didn't know how to communicate clearly. I didn't know how to empathize, apologize. So let's use the ease method with this example of a client asking to get squeezed in when I want to say yes because I think I have to, but I know that I'm not going to do a good quality work. But I feel like if I say no, I'm going to get in trouble, or they're going to be upset with me, or they're going to be disappointed, or they'll go somewhere else. So I start promising things. This is passed on. If you relate to this story, put a 2 in the chat. This is passed on, being like, I just got to say yes to appease them in this moment so that they don't get upset at me now. And then I just defer disappointment till later. So let's use Love Doing IBS, already working on boundaries with myself. Charisma works. I love that. So good. Okay, 2. So we're going to use this example of a client getting asked to get squeezed in, and I'm going to use the ease method. So a client's trying to get squeezed in. They've got a big family event they're going away for the weekend. Dawn, you're the only one that can do my hair. I mean, I know we have other people other than just hairstylists in here, but I'm going to speak from the perspective of hairstylist. Dawn, you're the only one who can do my hair. Nobody else does it. I didn't get things done. Is there any way you can get me in this week? So empathize. Oh my gosh, Susan, I love that you want to see me so much. And I understand the emergency and the wanting to get your hair done. I've been in a similar situation and I know that panicked feeling. And so I just want to let you know, I appreciate you letting me know. I'm so sorry. Apologize. I'm so sorry that you're not able to get in. And I apologize if I haven't been more clear how I'm not able to accommodate last minute requests. I know I have this 90 minutes here, but I know that you come to me for the quality of work that I give. And here's the straightforward, I'd be doing a disservice to you by squeezing you in and trying to fit your service into a smaller time frame. And honestly, you'd walk away with not the quality of work you're used to from me, and you'd be unhappy and I'd be unhappy, and it wouldn't be in my integrity to give you that squeezed in appointment when I know I can't give you the results that you're used to getting from me. So again, I am I understand how you're feeling and the wanting to get in and this event that's coming up. And I apologize that I'm not able to fit you in, and even though I may have fit you in the past. But the reality is that quality is important to me, and I know that I wouldn't be able to have you leave happy. So thank you again, and know that if something comes up, I will fit you in. Like if there's something that I will keep you in mind. However, I need to do this as a service to you to take care of you. So is this helpful? Put a 1 in the chat if that helped walk through that. I know I kind of did it messy. Sometimes it's a little, I talk about taking messy, immediate, imperfect action. I'm doing that today too. The things you want to do when you communicate the ease method in tough conversations is you want to do everything with kindness, compassion, and empathy. Showing your client you're not doing something to them or at them, but you're doing it for them. So this way it's like, I'm not saying, no, I can't fit you in, I don't have time. It's, hey, I really, really value you as a client. And I really, really appreciate you wanting to see me. That means the world to me. And I'm so sorry if I haven't communicated clearly enough that I book up quite far in advance, right? But the reality is I want to care for you and I want to give you the results that you're used to getting from me. And I know that's why you come see me. And if I try to fit you in here, I know that I won't be able to give you what you're used to getting from me. And that would break my heart. I'd be embarrassed. And I know you'd walk away unhappy, and you'd probably be more unhappy with your service getting squeezed in and going to this family event than going without getting it done at all. Helpful? Hi, Michelle. Hi, Kelly. And so if anybody has a situation in life, business, with clients, with family and friends, where they have to have an uncomfortable conversation and you want me to go through the ease method, I did it backwards because it's mirror image, so this E looks weird. But let me know right now, but let's go over it really quickly. You want to empathize, you want to apologize and own your part. You want to be straightforward without being passive aggressive or beating around the bush or using the I think, I feel, or it's just, and you want to be earnest. Empathize, apologize, straightforward, and earnest. This is the ease method to a simple way, anxiety-free way to have tough conversations, whether it be with clients, whether it be with loved ones, whether it be with friends, to let people understand the intention, and you invite them in. You invite them into what's going on your side, and that you're actually wanting to take care of them and preserve the relationship. A lot of times we don't know how to communicate, and so we come off brash and harsh and aggressive because we're anxious, and it's the opposite the way we want to come across. But we come across that way, and it communicates to the other person that you don't care and you don't want to interact with them, when in reality, you're letting them know the terms in which you can best interact with them. You can best serve them if it's your client. Hey, I would love to squeeze you in, and I'd love to see you this week, and I'd love that you want to see me. The reality is I wouldn't be able to give you the quality that you're used to getting from me or the results you're looking for in that time frame. And so I'd be doing you a huge disservice if I said yes to this, although I want to, because I don't want to say no, because I have a hard time saying no. Helpful? Put a 1 in the chat if that was helpful. I wanted to share this quick tip with you guys. I also made, and I love acronyms are just so easy. I came up with another acronym yesterday for how to, what did I write here? Oh, how to serve your clients while also making sales. And because so many of us feel slimy and sleazy, and I think maybe I'll share that with you guys tomorrow morning. Stacy, I love that. So helpful. Thank you, Kelly. So helpful. How do you guys feel about because a lot of you guys feel icky about selling. I mean, I don't think Michelle does. My friend Michelle, I don't know if you're still in here. Michelle, I would love for you to chime in. You're a salesperson and she's all about it. But I know a lot of us feel uncomfortable selling, or we go for the sale and we feel like we're being slimy and salesy. And really it's about building relationships and serving people and giving them solutions to problems they're having. Hi. And so I made an acronym for sales or sale. Sales, S-A-L-E-S. That you can use when you go to serve your clients that'll actually generate more revenue for you in your business. And I'm going to share that with you guys down if I share that with you tomorrow morning here on IG Live. It'll be between, just educate. I always say educate and give an opportunity. That's one thing that I teach inside of Rock Your Business. Educate people and give them an opportunity to take action. So I'm going to share that with you guys tomorrow. If you didn't see on my stories, you can get in if you enjoy this stuff. If you like learning this way, if this is helpful, you're gonna, tomorrow, can't wait. I love it, Cass. I'm building the anticipation. I have a First Dibs email list for anyone who's interested in being educated with me more. There's no expectation or obligation, but honestly, if you wanna get more nitty gritty into these things, go get on, it's in my stories right now. You can click the link, you can put your email in and you'll be on my First Dibs email list. But I'm really excited to be sharing more of these tips with you guys. I'm doing some cool things behind the scenes. It's been a year. Honestly, July 1st was a heavy day for me. It held a lot of weight to it. and energetically. And I realized that I just want to, this is weird. Sometimes I just like start on a tangent. I'm like, I feel like, I don't know why I'm sharing this, but someone always needs to hear it. Whatever you're going through, whether it be in life, in business, with clients, whatever it is, and you feel like you can't get back on track, or you're not getting traction, or you're not at the pace that you used to be gentle with yourself. Know that things take time. Healing isn't linear. Growth isn't linear. One day you'll feel great, the next day you'll feel shit. Showing up and doing your best you can. If you've ever read the book, The 4 Agreements, one of the things is do your best, but your best isn't going to be the same every day. Your best is going to look different every day. Learn to have grace and compassion for yourself. The last 3 years of my life have been incredibly difficult. And some of you guys know what's gone on behind the scenes. And this last year is kind of like everything came to a head, and I really dug in, and I wanted to be really proud of the person that went through this time. I wanted to be proud about how I dealt with everything. I wanted to be proud about how I managed getting through stressful times, getting through new territory, getting through things. And I can say without a question of a doubt, I am so proud of how I maneuvered through this time in my life. So if you're in between jobs, if you're in between workplaces, if you're growing your business, if you've got personal stuff going on behind the scenes and you're not able to show up in business, I just want you to know that I see you. You can still show up the best you can, and your best right now might look different than your best did 6 months ago, and that's okay. All right? I love you guys. You're amazing. We'll come back here, same time, same place tomorrow to go through the sales method for how to serve your clients and generate more revenue at the same time. All right, go put into use the ease method. Love you guys. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast and for tuning into Business Breakfast and Bedhead. Like I said, I would love for you to join me live on these over on Instagram. So once again, just look up Dawn Bradley and let's connect. Shoot me a DM, send me a screenshot, tag me in your stories of listening to this or what you took away from this. Those comments, that feedback really makes my day and helps me know that these things are landing and that you want to hear more. I do these lives and I do this podcast for you to help you, and your feedback means the world to me. And if you enjoyed this episode, help me spread the love. Share it with a friend, a coworker, family member, or leave a review. And make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future episodes. Thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you next time. Until then, friend, stay weird.